Another one that is, I think, at the heart of really the task that we have before us as Christians for the Great Commission, spreading the gospel, is the distinctions, if there are any, and I think there are, between faith and reason. You know, it's interesting. Robert Riley wrote a book called The Closing of the Muslim Mind, taking a cue from Alan Bloom's book back
Right,
in the 80s, I think, The
right.
Closing of the American Mind. What Riley discovered in his research was with respect to Sunni Islam, about 80%. He did this research into how contrast Christianity versus Islam grapple with the question of what is the relationship of faith and reason. And by and large, medieval Christianity came to a view that, and reason, by the way, would involve what we're talking about, philosophy. I mean, it'll involve other things too, but it'll include that. And Christianity more or less settled with this relationship that's mutually beneficial between the truths that we know that are theological, that we know from revealed truth from the scriptures as a Christian, and then the truths we can know by reason. And then Christians more or less settle for a healthy relationship. And without the details, I think you can show that that really opened Christian Europe, especially, to new ideas in diplomatic relations versus, it used to be to grow as a country, you conquer your neighbor and you take their stuff. That's how you develop your nation. But Christian Europe began to have barriers along language or even geography, like mountain ranges, and then have peaceful coexistence through diplomatic relations and try to come and things like that. They were open to that. They were open to new ideas in economics, moving from feudal to a more marketplace and private property rights. They were open to new ideas in the natural sciences, moving from the old Ptolemaic geocentrism, where the Earth is the center of the solar system and all the heavenly bodies revolve around it, to the sun is the center of the solar system and our elements of the solar system revolve around it. We're open to that. I mean, sometimes these things were hard to swallow, and it might have taken centuries to eventually make the transition. But the point is, Christians were open to the viability of reason as a way of understanding God's creation. In contrast, what Riley argues is that Sunni Islam was the opposite, and they subjugated reason to the word of Allah, and you don't ask questions, and you just, if Allah says that 2 + 2 is 5, then it's 5, and you don't challenge that. And he argues it arrested medieval Islam in their cultural development, because there was a time where they were on the vanguard of cultural
Mm.
development across Europe, but they got arrested. So today you still have Muslim nations who think their relationship with other nations should fall along the contours of conquer those nations, install Sharia law, and bring everybody into subjection to the word of Allah and the Quran, right? So you just go, wow, all of that, the modern Islamic crisis is the point of his book, is all a residual fallout from mishandling the relationship of faith and reason.